Hi, I'm Karin Fisher-Golton, author of My Amazing Day, A Celebration of Wonder and Gratitude, which was a group effort with photographer Lori Chung and designer Elizabeth Iwamiya. And I am sitting here in my garden during a pandemic to talk with you about gratitude. I think because I wrote that book, gratitude might be a little more top of mind for me than it might have been otherwise. And I'm really noticing that during this pandemic, I think that gratitude is really helping me and my family keep our spirits up. And so I'm hoping I might say some things that could be helpful to you. So one thing I want you to know is that it doesn't need to be a big chore at all to be helpful. In fact, something that really impressed me when I did research for the book was that not only, I kind of knew from my own experience when I express gratitude and notice what I'm grateful for, it lifts my spirits, but when I looked at the science of it, it turned out that in some of those early studies of gratitude, the effects of it for less effort than I thought were even more than I imagined. So one of the early studies involved students writing in their journals just one time a week for 10 weeks. And there was a group that wrote things they were grateful for, another group that just wrote things that happened that were neutral, and another group that wrote things that they weren't happy about. And the group that was writing what they were grateful for, not only were their spirits lifted, but they got more sleep than they had before that. They had pains that went away, and they were more helpful to others. So, and again, they were just writing once a week for 10 weeks. So it's not like a huge effort, but I think like anything, you just do, then you get in the habit and you just start noticing things more, and it lifts your spirits. So what does this mean to express gratitude? So one way they did it was write in a journal. So it could be written, it could be art, and then the way a lot of us do it, and the way we do it in my family, is we sit around the table and we share about it. And you could also be sharing individually, you could be sharing with yourself, but we have one time at least a week when we go around the table. Now when we started, my son was really young, and he sometimes had a hard time thinking of things or didn't have anything to say at all. And sometimes people are shy. With my son, we just didn't worry about it. We were like, oh, he's experiencing us say it, it's sinking in on some level. And sure enough, as he's grown older, he always has things to say, and he expresses them beautifully, that makes me very happy. So, and what are you expressing about? It's everything from the simplest thing. In this book, I have this page that I love. Green was all around me, where, just the wonder of seeing a color. That was inspired by an experience I had earlier in my life when I was feeling really down. A lot of sad things had happened all together. But I looked out the window and I saw this beautiful fuchsia color on a bougainvillea flower, and I just thought, oh, I'm just so grateful I can see that color. So, and that lifted my spirits. So, it can be the little things, it can be the bigger things that we've accomplished, or we're so glad that we have. In these times, my family and I were finding that some things are kind of like, there's a little turn on them, like some of the things that we're really missing. We're realizing, wow, I miss that so much, but isn't it wonderful that I found something that I miss so much? So even though I don't have it now, this will pass and I will have it again. And I know that thing I love to do. So, so there's all those sort of things. So anyway, I hope that this might give you some ideas. And just remember, just noticing and expressing what you're grateful for could have some positive effects. So I hope this helps. Be well.